Hey, Knolly Williams here, the business healer. I'm super excited that you are back at my channel once again. And in this video, I want to talk to you about a very important topic. This is a very important topic, not only for you, but any entrepreneurs and business leaders that you know as well. And that is how to get out of feast or famine. You know, many of the business leaders and entrepreneurs that come to me for coaching, before they start coaching with me, are in a feast or famine modality. In other words, they need now money. They've got to have money today. And if that's you, where you're always after the hunt, you haven't learned how to plant a garden. You haven't learned how to actually stock and create your own grocery store, where you really are never out of food. You always have wealth and income coming in, and you're not in feast or famine mode. If you haven't learned how to create that for yourself, I'm going to share some tips and tricks with you in today's video, and just knowing the fact that it's possible is going to help you as well. Well, if you like the video, give it a like, a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and check out the video. Enjoy. So let's solve the number one problem. Your number one, how many of you guys have a leads problem? You're like, I don't have enough money. I need more business. And by the way, when you need now money, somebody say now money. When you need now money, you got a problem. The fact that you need now money focuses on the fact that you have an issue in your business. It's called a pipeline problem, okay? When you have a pipeline, see, when I got into real estate, within 8 months, I had 18 listings. Let me share this story. So my first 74 days in real estate, I took 21 listings. My first 74 days in the business. The reason I know that is because I started with Prudential, and I was there how long? 74 days. Long enough to figure out that I can make more money if I switch to this other company, right? So I was there for 74 days and I had an inventory of 21 listings in 74 days. I didn't know it was hard. Nobody ever told me it was hard, so I just thought it was easy and I went out and did it, okay? Now, I knew that back then, in order for me to have the kind of lifestyle that I wanted, I had to have an inventory of 18 listings all the time. So I got to 18, and you sell 3, you bring 3 more, and so on. So if you're not doing, and it may not be that for you, it might be 6 lists, whatever the number is, but you're going to have, if you're in feast or famine, you have a pipeline problem, okay? And lead generation is going to solve that, okay? Now, why is lead generation important? Duh, dummy. We know, like, why we are at this, yeah. All right, I'm going to tell you why it's important. Number one, you want a paycheck, right? In order to get a paycheck, you have to have a closing. In order to have a closing, you have to have a contract. In order to have a contract, you have to have an offer. In order to have an offer, you have to have a listing. In order to have a listing, you have to have a client. In order to have a client, you have to have a lead. In order to have a lead, you have to lead generate. And lead generation is the catalyst that will lead to paychecks, okay? Prospecting equals paychecks, and not prospecting equals poverty. That's why lead generation is important. Huh? What's that? Transform me. She said, transform me. Yeah, this is good stuff. So lead generation is important. So how do we solve this problem? I don't have enough leads. That's the problem I hear from a lot of people. You got to master lead generation. Okay, if you have not mastered lead generation, you'll never solve that problem. What I want you to do is a few things. Number one, you got to become famous. First of all, you got to time block 3 hours a day for lead generation. Okay? If your problem is that you don't have enough money, you have to time block for lead generation. That's going to be your 3-hour workday, is lead generation. Okay, leads and appointments. That's what you're going to focus on, leads and appointments. Number one, you want to become famous. You want to lead generate based on your personality profile. You want to hire a coach. Okay? Those 3 things. So let's talk about this for a minute. You should not be a secret agent. And I knew this from my marketing days in the record business when I was in the music business. By the way, by the time I was, so we started the record business, I grew it to $150,000 a month, okay? And then what happened, MP3 came in. All right, my sales went down 70, 80%. I had 14 employees. I had 18 artists on the label. We had a 10-acre property. We had a 1,200 square foot office building, a 6,000 square foot home on the same property. We had a 1,200 square foot studio and a 1,500 square foot office building, I should say. And then we had a 1-acre pond I mean, it was paradise, y'all. I lost it. I lost it. I got to the point when I was about 32, I was making my monthly mortgage payment on an American Express card that I had borrowed from my sister-in-law. That's where I was. And a lot of times people say, well, how did this athlete, he just got 15 million. How did he end up broke? I don't understand it. Guess what? It's not hard to spend money. I don't know what I spend it on. You ask my wife, she'll tell you. I don't know. But what you want to do from a marketing standpoint, I learned this in the music industry, you want to become famous. Everybody should know who you are. Okay? Everybody, you should not be a secret agent. You should be famous in the areas that you serve. And to be famous doesn't mean you have to be arrogant, haughty, proud, boastful. Jesus Christ was a very famous person when he walked the earth and still today. And he was none of those things, okay? But people knew who he was, all right? Everybody knew who he was. People should know who you are, all right? You gotta lead generate based on your personality profile. If you do not lead generate based on your personality profile, lead generation will be torture for you. Most of the books that you read will tell you to cold call and all that. I've never made a cold call in my life, ever. I don't make cold calls, I just don't do it. Now there are people on my team or my group that make cold calls and they're really good at it. I suck at that, okay? I don't have the high D that's required for that, okay? I'm an ISC. I'm more of an administrator. That's really when they took my, this is God's honest truth. When they actually took my profile, they just thought I had all these qualities because I was out speaking and helping change lives and helping people. But when they actually looked at my AVA or my DISC and all these profiles, I had the lowest score you could get to be a match for a mega agent. But what I learned is though, even I had a handicap, I was the shyest kid in school, guys. I was the shyest kid in school. I'm still an introvert. I still prefer curling up with a spreadsheet or a book, okay? Every time I test out as an engineer. It says, Knolly, you should be an engineer. But what I've learned is I have a handicap that makes me naturally suck at real estate. So I actually take my personality profile and I love it and I live with it and I lead generate based on it. Does that make sense? Okay. I'm gonna show you guys in a minute. And you should hire a coach. You should hire a coach. So an example, for me personally, I work by invitation. How many of you is easier for somebody to call, like an incoming call, like if they call you like, hey, I want to sell my house, I want to sell. How many of y'all is easier to take that call than, are you thinking about selling your home? Can I help you? Which one's easier? The incoming. So what I did was I created everything. See, I've never marketed for a buyer. Not even once in my life, okay? I got all this jewelry on, this clinking, clacking. Can y'all hear that? Y'all can hear that, can't you? So I'm gonna take off one of them. I wear a lot of jewelry now. So all of my ads have always said, are you thinking about selling your home? List with Knolly. Sell in less time, get more money, free consultation. Okay, how much could your home be worth in today's hot market? See, I've never marketed for a buyer. I had a gal I was coaching the other day, and she said she has appointments. She has a VA that's helping her, right? And one of the things that the VA does is incoming calls, and she sets them on her calendar. She has a Calendly, and she has a call with somebody that wants to buy a home or whatever it is. And you know what she does? She just skips out on the appointment. All right, that's bad. You know, that's when you know there's something, you have a block of some kind. You have an appointment that's set with a potential client and you don't even make the appointment, right? Have anybody ever done that? You guys have done that. Y'all don't want to raise your hand. No, but that's extreme, right? That's something you would think you would never do, right? So that's when you're at an extreme. She needed a healing, so we had a healing session around that because she had a block of some kind. But what came out of that was she had lost her fire working with buyers. Oh, that rhymed. She lost her fire working with them buyers. Them dirty buyers. And I said, well, don't ever market for a buyer again. If you hate working with buyers, don't work with them. Just work with sellers. That's what I did. 96% of all the homes that I've sold were listings.
Okay. Now it didn't mean that I didn't have a lot of buyers, because I had, what do you get when you get a lot of listings? You get a lot of buyers. Okay. So I had a lot of buyers coming in, and I just had people to work those. All right. So these are the 3 things that you want to do if you want to master lead generation.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hey, I want to invite you out to Knolly Coaching Club. That's right. The Knolly Coaching Club is where I'm able to teach, train, and coach you every single week to your ultimate greatness. Now you can join for just $1. Go to knollycoaching.com and I'll see you on the inside.